thought wall, their own way of capturing ideas and bringing those ideas into fruition and allowing people to bring those ideas to the management of the company and to also have an organizational platform which can take those ideas into the marketplace. Without the combination of the idea and the person, the network, and the structure and the finances, those ideas usually end up being ideas and staying in somebody's head, and they never reach the market. This is actually a picture of an anthill. What can we learn from the way ants work and operate? An anthill is actually built by ants. It emerges over time. They don't really have a very structured plan for how to build this anthill. It kind of grows and evolves and develops over time. And more people actually bring a straw to the stack. What's also interesting about ants is they actually send out pheromones to let everybody else know where the food supplies are. And when the food supply is finished, the pheromones stop being sent out by the ants, and the resources and efforts are simply diverted to a different location. I think we can learn from the way ants operate as well by looking at how resources are diverted based on the changes and the movements in the marketplace. When the resources of the financial resources and the people resources. So maybe learning from how ants works in nature could help us build more successful organizations. This is a picture of a t-shirt. It says success is 90% failure. In my experience, failure is not always rewarded in organizations. I think failure is an important aspect of any innovation and of any entrepreneurial effort. Because anybody who's actually tried to build a new organization or a new value proposition or a new product will know that you require a lot of tinkering and a lot of constant assessment of what you're doing. Tinkering is very much part of innovation and creativity. And tinkering happens every day. It means that you have something that you present and put on the table, a plan or a product, and then people come together to actually develop that product by constantly reevaluating what that product is and what it means and how successful it is in terms of meeting the needs of the consumer. What's also really interesting, what's happening more and more these days, is that the community, the people who are actually lead users, who are using those products, are becoming more and more involved in the development and the creation of those products which the companies later produce. It's called lead user innovation or open source innovation. Lead user innovation is actually those customers which are the most valuable to the community. It's those customers who actually know more about how you as an organization are and how you work as a company, and how the product is best used and best servicing their needs. And a lot of organizations these days are opening up their organizational platforms and their innovation platforms to the community and allowing actually the community of lead users of their products to come into their organization to actually co-innovate and co-create the products of the future. You have Procter & Gamble, who has a consumer panel of 500 active consumers who are all specialists in using in their products. You have the Lego company, for example, who actually use their community members to develop new products for the future. Not only that, this actually shortened down the innovation time for the company, it also reduces the cost of innovation. Plus, you actually end up having a better product at the end of the day. When I was involved in developing the lead user innovation process for Lego and developing their new product, which was Lego Factory and Lego Factory trains, we actually had 5 members of the community coming in to work with us for 3 weeks with 600 bricks, and the scope of their exercise was actually to develop trains and Lego train sets which could actually be sold to the market of children in the age group 8 to 9. What has previously taken 2 years to develop a product took with the lead users and lead innovators from the Lego community 3 weeks, and they came up with far better and far more models than any of the people in the innovation unit who normally innovates and produces and creates these products. By involving the lead users in the development of your product, not only do you get better ideas, you also get automatically viral marketeers for your products in the marketplace. People who are connected to other community members and people who speak about your product in the press, and who also are connected to a large community of people or followers who like your product for what your product is. These people who are lead innovators in those companies, they actually account for about 45% of the revenue of that organization. You have 5% lead users at Lego, and they actually account for 45% of the revenue of the whole organization. So in terms of focusing the resources on which customers are the most valuable ones, we have a tendency to actually focus on the 80%, the masses. But the people we should actually focus on are the consumers who come with the product complaints, with the service complaints, all those customer allegations. Those are the ones who actually helps us to build and create an organization of the future. Those are the most valuable customers, not only in terms of the content that they produce, but also in terms of the incremental revenue that they generate for us, and the cost and the money that they're saving us for the time and effort. In terms of innovation, I think there's a lot of things we can learn from the experiences that we've had in life, and in terms of thinking differently and doing different things, thinking about who we spend our time with, where we spend our time, how we do things, where do we sit, who do we eat with, and using those experiences and those insights to guide us in direction of the future. As I said, there are people out there who can make the future happen. It's all those people that we know of, but they have a voice, but we don't really have a direct connection with them. It's important to find a way of building connections with those people, whether it's employees or consumers out there who can actually help us drive our business into the 21st century. And one of the key challenges for actually building those connections with the community who can help us grow our business is to find a way of filtrating stories or voices from the community. We often have a tendency to look at the community and our consumers or even our employees and say everybody's equally important and all voices are just as valuable. But if you look at YouTube, for example, I'm sure a lot of you have been into YouTube and seen all the creative videos and performances that you have there, is that a lot of it is, to be honest with you, it's actually junk. It's not very valuable. There are some stuff there which is, I would say, is very useful and very good content, but a lot of it is noise. So for a company who's actually moving in the direction of setting up a collaborative innovation network with their community or their employees, it's important to find a way or a structure for filtrating those voices and those noises out to capture the most valuable resources. And I think a successful company of the future who's building a 21st century model organization needs to find a way of working with the community and their employees in such a way that they do not drown in all the voices and the stories which are out there. There are various ways in which you can actually build models for interaction, and there are also various ways in which you can build creative interfaces, and there are also various ways in which you can use to, like, you can actually work with other organizations who've tried and done this before. It's not an easy way of, changing your organization, but I think it is actually the way in which the future is going. And companies who are building a 21st century organization needs to find the way of capturing the skills and capabilities which are out there. Not all of them are up to the standard that your organization would like to see